like Arima with the piano, man. Excuse me, man. Do you mind me filming? Do you mind? Can I record you?
Now you can speak. Now edit that. This is Bill Dorado in Civic in Canberra, and we're going to be playing the party story.
Can you play Fuck the Police? That's alright.
Alright?
There you go.
No? Alright. Bill Dorado in Canberra.
The underlying problem that I see with Christian filth is that its ideology, both testaments throughout, does not at any one point rebuke slavery. Moses is leading the Israelites out of Egypt. He suicided them all after they liked a golden bull calf. And Australia's a place where you will find a lot of golden bull. So I've been proud of the legacy, and this Christian filth is like, well, let's play enslave the Aborigines, but we'll play it on white people now, and because we're not racist anymore, we can do that. Doesn't matter if they're Aboriginals. They enslave the white people now, and the history just repeats. And they'll say it themselves when you meet them and work for them. Oh well, they were weak. Survival of the fittest. So that upshot of going, well, yeah, it's not racist to just. It would be racist if we just enslaved the Aborigines, but let's not be racist and enslave whoever. And that's why grounds of insanity is, well, I could show it to you here. Those were insanity grounds. Bus will be here soon. So yes, here in the judicial interim, as I call it, I do spend some time thinking about why Roger Toll would have take such an interest in me having left his business. And I even became sensitive to how, on a psychosexual level, as a DJ, I was lucky enough to have, I don't brag, but I was lucky enough to have cool chicks around. But I'm like, well, why, Roger, would you want to know about them? You have a wife, Maxine. I'm sure there's a stipulation in the charter for Freemasonry about how she has to yield her puss to you at your leisure. Why don't you go do that? My boss is here. It's been the sad plight of change last decade. Art has been made nonetheless, and there's no regrets when it comes to making art. Finding the religious have the audacity to psychologize it without even studying or comprehending any of the underlying principles that artists do explicitly pronounce to the public. And I think, well, it's not really calling a spade a spade. For me though, been strange because I went through the last decade and go accused of murders every day. So made my ears prick out a bit like Charles. What goes on? I'm not getting accused of murders every day. I can smell Roger's cunt.
Roger. Your shit's too old.
Your shit's too old, doesn't work. Say it with me. Your shit's too old, it doesn't work. Fagatha Mason, Fagatha Macy. Sorry. You don't get to take my search. You're not in the in crowd. Yeah, painstakingly. There's that word? Yeah, nauseous concerning what you call Roger Toll. Taswegian nigger. Remember how and why you hired me? What did I do? What I solve? I could solve dangerous crime better than you. I could dance better than you. I have better taste in music than you. You want to be more sensitive to health demographics in Canberra? Think about what I've submitted, an argument that you have not refuted, and start saying, holy wood, nigga, holy wood, holy wood. Then I care to know what you say in bed. That's good. I got some airtime. I didn't, as you've gathered from my channel and my work, I did not enjoy being me and working in healthcare. So this is intended for the observance of the committee, whoever involved with going on this basis. I don't want to snake the judgmental methodology, but what I can contribute is you may make errors if you are Christian or Freemason. The word said. Man with long hair. No, it looks like he can't be in pain. I'm teaching myself through singing how to say ouch when hurt, basically, whether I'm killed or not. So all I really want to say is that I don't want someone who likes to eat Jesus biscuits on Sundays to be on a committee that goes, oh, should we give him an authority for his pain relief? Because you're even on a sexual level excited by the murder of Jesus of Nazareth. If you're a woman, his murder. Yeah. As I was saying, you see a person who, imagine drawing a chalk outline around the body of Jesus. Now, if you're a Christian and you're in healthcare, going, well, this person looks like they're recovering, they're walking faster. But in my case, I do that because I'm anxious. I'm getting more anxious. Through singing, I'm teaching myself how to say ouch and things like that. It's like going back to kindergarten, which gives Roger Toll an instant chode boner. Chode, again, is penis greater in width and length. He has, he can use pizza pets and various scientific tools to stimulate himself. But
And yeah, he'll get a little overexcited. So for me, as I recently posted, this last decade's been weird because I didn't go day to day, week to week, getting accused of murders, and it's been bizarre in that regard. So yeah, I'd like to ask, could you please exempt yourself, or come visit me and talk philosophy. But if you imagine a chalk outline around Jesus, he goes through all these degrees of pain, but you think it's a present from him later, and then you have a biscuit on Sunday, and as a result of that, then you think it's psychological. Basically, yeah, I submit to you, if you're a Christian, a Freemason, then take a chalk outline of Jesus' figure and apply it to any citizen. And if they are in pain, you'll get sexually aroused. So if you're getting sexually aroused quietly, what you'll say is, can't be in pain. Can't be in pain. So someone getting nailed, murdered, and it was a mark of shame, hide your shame, they would say in the Garden of Eden when they put the leaves on their balls and vaginas. So they put a crown of thorns on Jesus to shame him. And incidentally a loincloth. How does the loincloth shame him? Anyway, I've already talked about that. I'm in pain, and I just really want for those who are concerned with the committee, or who are involved in the process of going, will approve of this authority or that authority. I'm in more pain. I've already been wronged with forced psychiatry, systematic child abuse in legal terms, and being mistreated at both Canberra and Calvary hospitals. So I don't want to deal with any pain clinics. I also don't want bureaucrats harassing my doctor. If you make my doctor feel uncomfortable, I'll try and find a way to make you discomfort. As I already have, I'm reminding you of your crucifix. It's a mild grub, but I think it's important. I don't think Christian religion is important. I think it's having bad effect on healthcare. So, that's my challenge to you. I obviously have no idea who you are. If you're the PBS authority to me. Even though I was born in Canberra hospital because of what I went through for psychiatry, I do not want to return. Heart attack material. And all the best to you. I find them to take two concepts, and that's they haven't read or looked up the word epistemology and no idea what it means. But their epistemology and their metaphysics and their babble over two concepts, plus a force multiplier to their thinking. Seeing is believing, hearing is believing, in the most superficial way, and their gods do not exist. Makes them, yearn to sacrifice me, because by being too simplistic, because they're not getting what they want in church. What they say, you listen to women sing worship songs in church, and it's the same in bed as well. So, go figure. But when we're talking medicine, we've got to be considering the Hippocratic Oath. So yeah, in a biological sense, Roger really does prove his and Gary's loyalty to generic brands and selling them, because with their combined failure to acknowledge entire sexual health right demographics while celebrating a 500-year outdated religion. It's a bit like saying, like Roger's saying, well, I co-founded this business and I don't have a family, so I'm not going to do anything to support or sell any products that support the health rights of parents or kids or families. To build and elaborate on what I was saying about everybody being an atheist, and if you're a member of one religion and there were 10,000 religions worldwide, then your counts of atheism would be 9,999 religions to which you would be an unbeliever. However, what you will find is that talk from the religionists in that regard, they'll improvise because many are scarcely informed about the content of their own Bible, much less the holy book of others. So, yeah, plus monotheism can't be true unless one form, in principle, I guess, unless one monotheism is able to out-contest all of the others. And it's also agreed that it's a mark of unfairness saying nothing about the truth of the metaphysical claims of the religion, in terms of a majority, or how much of the population adheres to that religion, nor does it prove the truth of the metaphysical story if the religion is credited as a source for ethical awareness and conscience. But yeah, these Freemasons, Roger and Gary, they seem to just be fuming over a couple of differences. And I was taught while working for them that they regard the Christians to be paranoid, but this really wound up saying more about, I think, Roger and Gary, their propensity to lose their temper. I find that when Gary Cans would say love to people as a noun in place of everybody's name, then singing Hey Jude to his wife Judy at the conference, a Beatles song written for a male, Roger's snappy temper and yelling if his authority is challenged, whereas part of the reason that it comes as a shock to staff, I think, because this is what you're experientially witnessing is a branch of off science that really should be much more morally honed. The staff body you would think would be much more morally honed, except for a couple of days before the quality care pharmacy program audit day.
Mr. Bush can't directly miss Afghanistan. Mr. Clinton picked that target personally and overruled the joint.
Because as for reasons already explained, you could take a Freemason aside and say, well, you're practicing you have this martyrdom practice that you teach your staff about. It involves you lining up people for psychiatric ward at forced admittance. Why is your martyring process any less fallacious than the Christians' claims that Jesus, the same person, was the savior of the world? And they'd lose their temper at that point because they don't have an answer. And that's it's one way a religionist will be spurred to the point of temper loss. And that's when they know they're just as wrong as such and such. So you can be unbelievers are detractors. They possibly once were believers but have stepped back and declined to be part of a religious group. They're not. It's not the state of origin, and they've decided that to play as Queensland instead of New South Wales or vice versa. It's
on September 11th. It's time that people started questioning the government, not being yes men, but
and you know, naivety in relation to disclosing that or discussing topics such as this is that Freemasonry is sectioning itself off. It's secretive, yet believes it's got the onus to cull population and control people's lives and things like that. But they don't want to send their emissaries or their wise guys out into the stage for contestive discussion or debate. And that's why I think apparently the Masons began with stone masons, which is why in a recent writing I mentioned the philosophical point of view of a rock, because it is actually more intelligent than anything philosophically that a Freemason has had to say. So it sort of testifies to Trey Parker and Matt Stone's song in Team America World Police, where they said freedom isn't free. There's a hefty fucking fee, and if you don't throw in your $1.05, who will? So remember that, people. Freedom costs $1.05. The ridiculous of monist body language theory. Now, take for example the common exercise push-ups. You know, give me five push-ups off the ground. That body language very similar to the missionary position during coitus. So now body language theorists, people who think they can say, well, this is a sign of I may or may not have strong opinions, or may not have been taught that, you know, just the language, this is a sign of this, and then extending it to body language is because these buyers of a priori profiles and Christians with Jesus taking the wheel don't happen to notice all the signs they drive past on the way to work in the morning. But if the push-up is the same as the missionary position, then what? You know, start banning push-ups. Big Pharma starts to ban push-ups from Canberra's gyms because the managers of the gym equipment and pads take a look at one another and take a look at a customer doing push-ups on the floor and decide he's sexually signaling them. When will it end? When will it assume trust in religious psych people and pharmacy, religiously bigoted pharmacists like Gary Kanza and Roger Tor?